New at 10, two retired Phoenix police detectives are speaking out after a case that they worked on more than 30 years ago is now back in the spotlight.
And as you'll hear, it's a case that haunts them to this day. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono sat down with them and joins us in studio. And Bianca, with all that these guys have seen over the years, this must have been an especially heinous crime.
It really was. The case of Richard Jerf, a mass murderer who killed 4 members of a Phoenix family back in 1993. Jerf has been sitting on death row for 29 years now, and the county attorney says he could be next to receive a death warrant. These two detectives who know this case better than nearly anyone say it's about time.
I started in May of 1973.
And after 20 years with the Phoenix Police Department, in September of 1993, Francesca Garcia transferred to the homicide unit.
Shortly after that was when I received a call out to go to the home in Maryvale of the Luna family.
She was still in training.
That scene is as vivid in my mind today as it was over 30 years ago.
Inside, 4 family members were found tortured and murdered. Patricia and Albert Luna, and 2 of their kids, 18-year-old Rochelle and 5-year-old Damien.
I was assigned to work with Detective Steve Lewis.
It's the worst thing I have ever seen.
Retired Phoenix Police Detective Steve Lewis remembers where each family member was and the evil they faced before they died.
Even the medical examiner that did most of the autopsies, I was there for all 4. And she cried.
The community was terrified as the search for the suspect was on.
You only get one crack at that scene.
A short time later, Detective Lewis got a call from a pastor.
One of the guys that attended his church had called him and told him that Richard Jerf was his friend, and told him what happened.
In a matter of days, they got their guy.
Did you ever interview Richard Jerf?
I did interview him, and the only thing he would say to us was, we read him his rights, and he said, my girlfriend had nothing to do with this.
Jerf ultimately pled guilty and was sentenced to death for each of the 4 murders. But that was in 1996. He's now exhausted all appeals, and the Maricopa County Attorney says he could be executed next if the Attorney General issues a warrant.
It's never going to bring anybody back. That's not what it's about. But it's to serve as justice for what happened to the family.
For these retired detectives, whose investigative work got this mass murderer off the streets, they believe it's long overdue.
Let me say this, if anyone ever deserved the death penalty and to be executed for what he did, it's Richard Jerf, because he's a monster.
And the decision to issue a death warrant is actually up to the Arizona Attorney General's office, which right now is not commenting on whether Richard Jerf will be next. Right now, there are 111 inmates on death row in Arizona. We're live in studio, Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thanks.